what I'm going to be showing you how to do the Lewis dot for now is a polyatomic ion in a compound. And the example on this sheet from last class that we didn't get to, that I was going to do that with, is sodium peroxide. Up on the smartboard, I have listed the steps 1 through 4, I guess 5 is your final answer, of how to do this. And step number 1 is, just like the problems I wrote up on the board, you need to know the formula. So for sodium peroxide, I know that sodium is a +1 charge. Peroxide is kind of that goofy polyatomic ion that's O2 with a -2 charge. So if I do cross and drop, or however you want to do it, the formula is Na2O2. And again, if you want to put your polyatomic ion in parentheses just to kind of keep track of that, you can. You don't have to for this one, though. So that is step number 1. All right, step 2 is, what's the Lewis dot for each atom? Sodium has 1 outer electron. I have 2 of them. I'm going to draw them both. Oxygen has 6. So there's oxygen. What I would recommend when you're doing this last type of Lewis dot, which again is polyatomic ion, but there's also metals, is first covalently bond the nonmetals. So if I create a bond between these 2 electrons right here, that would give me is my oxygen at the octet yet? No. Hopefully we notice it's 1 electron shy, which leads us into step 4. The metals will give their electrons away. Remember, that's how metals get to the octet, is by losing electrons. So if I recall, I had 2 sodiums listed on the previous part. This sodium could give its electron to oxygen. This sodium could give its electron to oxygen. So that's my step number 4 that I just showed. So I can actually go down to the final answer now. In my final answer, I have 2 sodiums that each lost an electron. So they have a positive charge. Now you could write the 2 sodiums sodium twice if you want to. But then I have oxygen bonded to oxygen with now 6 other electrons around it. Very common with polyatomic ions to put them in a bracket. Since 2 total electrons were gained, that's where the -2 charge comes from. When you do Lewis dot for polyatomic ions, you have to know the formula, but then I would connect the nonmetals first at least once. Sometimes it will require a double bond, heck, maybe even a triple bond. But then, at the end, your metals kind of come in and save the day and give their electrons to get everything to the octet. And as you can see, my final answer has both covalent bonds and charges for an ionic bond. So both work in there.